Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, graces the front page cover of Daily Mail with a wine athathon from Nadine Dorries, who said, and I quote, "Make peace with your dad, Meghan, or you'll regret it forever." Coming from a carnival of so-called expert who writes for Daily Mail. My family, at this point, I am calling for the Daily Mail to start paying Meghan her money. Money that they make from writing articles about Meghan. It's high time they pay Meghan her money. My family, because clearly they are making so much money from writing about Meghan and trashing Meghan Markle with their hate for profit campaign against Meghan. And my family, it's only a few days before King Charles' coronation. And Daily Mail is obsessing over Meghan, who has never uttered a word about King Charles' coronation. My family, verbally, we have never heard that from Meghan Markle. Never. And yet, my family, you're having the tabloids using Meghan's name to sell their papers. Constantly, every single time, my family. Meghan fled the UK 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And still, her name ends up on the front pages of a UK tabloid constantly. My family. And my family, when they say, make peace with your dad, my family, has Daily Mail forgotten the part it played in destroying Meghan and Thomas Markle's relationship? Have they forgotten? My family, we heard Daily Mail how happy they were, how they were gloating. Oh, look, Meghan, guess what? Even Thomas Markle, your own father, is willing to testify against you in court to assist us. A tabloid that is bullying, vilifying, abusing Meghan Markle to assist them in the court case that Meghan had filed against Daily Mail for illegally publishing her letter that she sent to Thomas Markle. My family, have they forgotten the part they played in humiliating Thomas Markle himself? My family, right before Meghan's wedding to Prince Harry. Harry even talked about it in his memoir. My family, you can't ruin Meghan and Thomas Markle's relationship and then ask Meghan to fix what you have ruined. You can't. Come on, you can't. You can't play an active role in damaging Meghan's relationship with Thomas Markle and then say, Meghan, it's you. You are the one who has to reconcile with your father, Thomas Markle. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't. You have no right, especially when you, Daily Mail, and those who work there have played an active role in damaging, destroying the relationship between Meghan and Thomas Markle. My family. And it's not just the Daily Mail. It's also Thomas Markle himself, because he made a deal with the devil, the UK tabloid media. He sold his soul for 30 pieces of silver just to betray his own daughter, to sell her out to people who want to destroy her, to people who bully her and abuse her every day? What kind of father speaks with carnival or so-called experts who abuse their own daughter and then claim that he wants to reconcile with Meghan? Then claim he wants to see Archie or Lilibet, and even a carnival or so-called expert, my family, this Nadine Dorries, who's saying that Meghan should make peace with Thomas Markle, my family, even this carnival of so-called experts, they are not innocent in anything, my family. This same carnival or so-called experts thinks that she can demand that Meghan puts Archie and Lilibet in a car and drive them to Mexico and take them to Mexico to see Thomas Markle. That's what they think. My family, Meghan will not fall for that. Meghan will not fall for that. And no one can demand Meghan to do anything. And Archie and Lilibet, their names must not be mentioned by carnival of so-called experts who have bullied, abused them, and also incited hate against Meghan while pregnant with Archie while Meghan was back in the UK. My family, this same tabloid, Daily Mail, Prince Harry blames this tabloid for the miscarriage that Meghan suffered as a result of the case that Meghan had filed against Daily Mail for illegally publishing her letter. My family, and my family, I want you to hear what Prince Harry himself had said in his memoir about Thomas Markle. My family, please kindly hear this. And I quote, Meg had spent months trying to soothe her father. There was always something new that he dreaded about himself, something derogatory, abusive, that he'd taken to heart. His pride was constantly wounded. Every day, there was another humiliating photo in the papers. Thomas Markle buying a new loo. Thomas Markle buying a six-pack. Thomas Markle with his belly hanging over his belt. We understood. Meg told him we know how he felt. The press, the pubs, they were awful. Impossible to totally ignore what's written. She acknowledged. But please, do try to ignore them in person. That's what Meghan told Thomas Markle. But did he ignore people who work for Daily Mail? The answer is no. He did not. My family, there are photos of Thomas Markle himself with a carnival of so-called expert who writes for Daily Mail called Caroline Graham. My family, this woman, Caroline, befriended Thomas Markle. My family. And this woman, Caroline Graham, who works for Daily Mail, moved in next door to Thomas Markle in Mexico. My family. And my family, in Harry's memoir, Harry tells us that Thomas Markle had handed over a letter that Meghan had sent him to Daily Mail. And then Daily Mail published the letter in its entirety. My family, which they knew was very much illegal. My family, there are photos of Thomas Markle with Caroline Graham, who works for Daily Mail. My family. And that's why I'm saying you can't do everything in your power as a tabloid to cause division between Meghan and Thomas Markle, and then in the same breath demand Meghan to be the one to reconcile with Thomas Markle after you have played an active role in damaging, in destroying Meghan's relationship with her father. You can't. My family, it's hypocrisy of the highest order. My family, hear what Harry and Meghan were telling Thomas Markle at the time. But please, don't try to ignore them in person. Ignore anyone who approaches Daddy. Ignore anyone who approaches Daddy. Be on guard against anyone who pretends to be your friend. He seemed to be listening. Prince Harry says in his memoir, he seemed to be listening. He started to sound as if he was in a better place mentally. My family, this tells me that Prince Harry and Meghan know the schemes of the UK media. They know how they roll. They know how they operate. They know what they do. My family. And clearly, they knew the tabloids would find ways to try and get to Thomas Markle. And they did. If only Thomas had listened to Harry and Meghan when they told him, be on guard against anyone who pretends to be your best friend. My family, and yet we have seen Thomas Markle with people who work for Daily Mail, like Caroline Graham. My family, we've seen him open an account on YouTube, really, with someone who claims to be his best friend, but just wanted to exploit him. Someone who confessed, my family, that he even went to where Harry and Meghan were when they were playing polo, harassing, Prince Harry and Meghan. My family, his name is Carl Lassen. And this person, Carl Lassen, before Thomas Markle cut him off, he said he had to edit out inappropriate things that Thomas Markle said, even about Harry and Meghan. My family, don't forget that even Thomas Markle said that he found it inappropriate that Lilibet was having a birthday on the same day, at the same time, really, as the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Imagine that, even going after a child. And then, all of a sudden, he wants Meghan. He wants even Harry, the father of Archie&Lilibet, to let them come all the way to Mexico. To be next to who? Samantha Markle or Thomas Markle Jr.? Samantha Markle, whose own children don't even speak to her. She has no relationship with her own kids. However, she goes on TV, on GB News, and demands Meghan speaks to Thomas Markle. My family, she blames Meghan for causing a rift in the family, coming from the woman who has no relationship with her own kids, her own children. If there were any decent journalists, they would ask her one question, but no one ever does, really. Samantha, why can't you focus on trying to fix your relationship with your own kids? Ashley or Noel Rasmussen, who accused Samantha of domestic abuse, or Ashley, who said of Samantha, there are people you can't reason with. Why does no one ever ask her those questions? My family, why is Samantha more interested in trying to get, Meghan to speak to her or acknowledge her instead of spending her time focusing on mending her relationship with her own kids? I'll tell you why. Because she knows it's only through Meghan, by using Meghan, by bad-mouthing Meghan, that's the only way she earns a paycheck. The only way she earns a paycheck. It's the only way. My family, she has tried using a frivolous defamation lawsuit to get money from Meghan. It has failed. It has not worked. My family, she gets invited by GB News that trashes Harry and Meghan, spends its time trashing Harry and Meghan to get views and clicks, because my family, their ratings are so bad that they need to add a segment of Harry and Meghan to trash them just to get ratings from the haters. My family, Samantha gets money from bad-mouthing Meghan Markle, but somehow thinks that Meghan should speak to them. That just ain't gonna happen. My family, as I have said, you owe your abusers nothing. Meghan or Harry don't owe their abusers a single thing. A single thing. My family. And my family, should Meghan have Thomas Markle Jr., who put a gun on his girlfriend's head around Archie&Lilibet? Should Harry even allow that? Would you as a father or even as a mother allow your kids next to people like Samantha Markle, who has no relationship, with her own kids? One child has accused her of domestic abuse. The other says there are people you can't reason with when describing Samantha. Or Thomas Markle Jr., who put a gun on his girlfriend's head. Or Thomas Markle himself, who are sided with a tabloid abusing his own daughter. Would you allow Archie or Lilibet or even your own kids around people like that? The answer is no. No person with an ounce of common sense would ever allow their kids around Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle, or Thomas Markle Jr. No person with an ounce of common sense should ever allow their kids anywhere near those people. My family, because of how abusive they are. My family, and from what I've read in Harry's memoir, he tried everything to protect Thomas Markle. My family, just please kindly hear this, my family. And I quote, "Then, on Saturday, before the wedding, Jason North phoned us. We've got a problem." What? The Mail on Sunday is going to run a story saying the Meg's father has been working with the pups and for money has staged some candid photos. The same tabloid authorized a carnival of so-called expert, Nadine, to reach out to Meghan, asking her to reconcile with Thomas Markle. You can't make this stuff up. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up. Why do you expect Meghan to fix that which you have destroyed? Why? Why? My family, just hear what Harry and Meghan had to do. We immediately phoned Meg's dad, told him what was coming. We asked if it was true. Had he staged a bunch of candid photos for money? He said no. And my family, we have learned he took money from paparazzi. We have learned that, my family. And Meg said, and I quote, "We might be able to kill this story, Daddy. But if it turns out you are lying, we'll never be able to kill a full story about ourselves or our children again. So this is serious. You must tell us the truth." He swore that he never staged any photos, that he had not taken part in any such charade, that he did not know the pup in question. Meg whispered to me, "I believe him." In that case, we told him, "Leave Mexico right now. A whole new level of harassment is about to rain down on you. So come to Britain. Now we'll arrange for an apartment where you can hold up safety until your flight. Air New Zealand, first class, booked and paid for by Meg. We would immediately send a car with private security to pick him up." He said he had things to do. Now, Meg's face changed. Something was up. She turned to me again and sighed, "He's lying." The story broke the next morning, and it was worse than we feared. There was video of Meg's father meeting the pup at an internet cafe. There was a series of staged shots, including one of him reading a book about Britain as if studying for the wedding. The photos, reportedly worth £100,000, seemed to prove beyond all doubt that Meg's father had indeed been lying. The photos were worth £100,000. Whoa, 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 my family. And I believe they paid Thomas Markle peanuts compared to what those pups who paid him got. My family, £100,000. Whoa, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. You know? So my family, as I continue my family, you know, it seemed to prove beyond all doubt that Meg's father had indeed been lying. He'd taken part in this fakery, maybe to make some money, or maybe they had some leverage on him. We did not know. We did not know. My family, Prince Harry is telling you how the tabloids operate. Leverage. When they have leverage on you, they can use it against you. He's telling you how things happen, my family. And that's what the tabloids have on the royal family. Leverage on them. They have information that on members of the royal family that they use against them. My family. Harry said, "We did not know." Headlines read, "Meg Markle's father, a con artist, staged candid photos for money a week before the wedding." This now became the story. But the photos had been taken weeks before. They've been held in reserve until the most devastating possible moment. And soon after the story broke, Thomas Markle sent us a text. "I'm so ashamed." We phoned him and texted him and phoned again. "We are not angry. Please pick up." He did not answer. Then we heard, along with the rest of the world, that he'd apparently had a heart attack and was not coming to the wedding. That was what was said. And this is what is constantly used by the media to try and find a way to emotionally blackmail Meghan Markle into going to Mexico and seeing Thomas Markle, where I believe they are waiting every day to see if Meghan is coming. My family. And my family, Thomas Markle has always said that somehow Meghan is angry with him because of they staged paparazzi photos. And he says he's sorry. My family. From what you've heard in Harry's memoir, Harry and Meghan forgave him for that. That was not the problem. My family. He aligning himself with tabloids that abuse his own daughter. That was the problem. My family. Thomas Markle handing out a letter that Meghan had sent him. My family. That was a problem. My family. That was a problem. My family, even Harry said that, Meghan mourned her father. That's what Prince Harry said about, Meghan, my family. Please kindly hear what Harry said. If Thomas wonders why Meghan does not speak to her, well, here is the answer. And I quote Harry's memoir. I woke to a text from Jason. Bad news. What is it now? The Mail on Sunday had printed the private letter Meg had written to her father. My family, there is one tabloid that my family Harry clearly mentions so oftenly, and it is Daily Mail. Here. And the same Daily Mail is trying to emotionally blackmail Meghan, into having a real relationship with Thomas Markle. You can't make this stuff up, really. I mean, seriously, after all the damage we have caused, then you're like, Meghan, fix it now. Fix it now. Come on. Really? My family? Now, as I continue, my family, here is what was said. The Mail on Sunday had printed Meg's private letter to her father. The letter that Granny and Pa urged her to write February of 2019. I was in bed. Meg was lying next to me, asleep. I waited a bit, then broke the news to her softly. Your father's given your letter to the Mail. No, Meg, I don't know what to say. He's given them your letter. That moment for me was decisive. That moment for me was decisive about Mr. Markle, but also about the press. There had been so many moments, but that for me was the one. I did not want to hear any more talk of protocols, tradition, strategy. Enough, I thought, enough. The paper knew it was illegal to publish that letter. They knew fully well and did it anyway. Why? Because they also knew Meg was defenseless. They knew she did not have the staunch support of my family. And how else could they have known this except from people close to the family or inside the family? The papers knew that the only recourse Meg had was to sue. And she could not do that because there was only one lawyer working with the family. And that lawyer was under the control of the palace. And the palace would never authorize him to act on Meghan's behalf. There was nothing in that letter to be ashamed about. A daughter pleading with her father to behave decently. Meg stood by every word. She'd always known it might be intercepted. The one of her father's neighbors or one of the pups staking out his house might steal his post. Anything was possible, but she never stopped to think her father would actually offer it, or that a paper would actually take it and print it and also edit it. Indeed, that might have been the most galling thing. The way the editors cut and pasted Meg's words to make them sound less loving. Seeing something so deeply personal smeared across the front pages, gobbled up by Britons over their morning toast and marmalade was invasive enough. But the pain was compounded tenfold by the simultaneous interviews with alleged handwriting experts who analyzed Meg's letter and inferred from the way she crossed her T's or carved her R's that she was a terrible person. Harry tells you of how the media operates. That they get people angry, outraged over the most mundane things, and also for over nonsense reasons. Somehow, how Meghan writes a R shows she's a terrible person. Harry is telling you the nonsense reasons the tabloids told the public to hate Meghan for. My family. And Harry says the look on Meg's face as I told her about these labels rolling out, I knew my way around grief. And there was no mistaking it. This was pure grief. She was mourning the loss of her father. And she was also mourning the loss of her own innocence. She reminded me in a whisper, as if someone might be listening, that she had taken a handwriting class in high school. And as a result, she'd always had excellent penmanship. People complimented her. She'd even used this skill at university to earn spare money. My family. Nights, weekends, Meghan would inscribe wedding and birthday party invitations to pay the rent. My family. You've heard what Harry said, my family. But somehow you're having the tabloids expect Meghan to fix that which they have ruined. Not just them, also Thomas Markle. My family, the answer is no. It is not on Meghan to fix what the tabloids and Thomas Markle himself has destroyed. Once again, it is not on Meghan to fix what the tabloids, what Daily Mail and Thomas Markle have destroyed. My family. And my family, Meghan has her own family. Her family is her husband and kids, who Meghan is raising. Something Samantha will never ever be able to get also. A woman who has never raised her own kids. My family. Meghan raised her own children. Archie and Lilibet Diana. She's raising her kids. My family. Something Samantha will never understand. And my family, Thomas Markle, Meghan owes you nothing. You had your chance to be with Meghan and see your grandchildren, but you blew it. And that's on you. Stop trying to emotionally blackmail Meghan Markle while working with people who abuse your own child. My family. Now tell me your thoughts about this kindly. I like to please kindly hear your opinion, my family. And with that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our ever-growing family on YouTube. God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lipetana and Doria Raglan. And all of you members of the squad at home, hate never wins, only love wins. Stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.